Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Unity Code, where we bridge science, spirituality, and strategy so you can actually understand how things work and build something that works for you. Today's episode is specifically for my soul led entrepreneurs, the ones who know you're here to do something meaningful and beautiful, but maybe your business or offers, ding, aren't fully reflecting that. Because I see this all the time, especially with people who are incredible about what they do, but something just isn't clicking. The offer isn't landing, the messaging feels off, or it's maybe just taking way more energy than it should. And today I want to bring someone in who I personally trust into this conversation. I have been listening to her podcast, The Offer Mojo Show. I'll obviously link this in the show notes. And honestly, she is just one of those resources that makes you think about your business in a completely different way. And as someone who works with energy and alignment literally all day, her podcast episodes and her in particular have really helped me think outside my own patterns and see things that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. So this is not just a random guest today. This is someone whose work I actually respect and use. I can't wait to introduce her for you today. So I'm about to introduce the beautiful and wonderful Lori, and I hope you get so much out of this podcast episode. I will list it again at the end of the show, but please check her out on socials, check out her podcast, The Offer Mojo Show. She is an incredible resource for soul-led entrepreneurs talking about energy and manifestation at the right level with your offers so that you can show up and be exactly who your soul is supposed to be here in this lifetime as a soul-led business owner. Hello, everyone. I am joined today by Lori Young. Welcome, Lori.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Just to
Good.
give everyone a little bit of background, Lori is known as the Offer Magician. She is an offer and business positioning strategist who helps coaches and transformation focused experts turn what they know into offers into people actually want to buy. And so she has over 15 years in the industry and she works with purpose driven entrepreneurs who know what they're good at, but can't figure out why their offers aren't connecting. She will help them get clear on what they're actually selling, who it's for, and how to talk about it in a way that actually connects and feels true to them.
Mhm,
Her clients usually show up feeling really stuck,
mhm.
really burnt out by their current model, and they leave with offers that energize them and serve their people well and sell without the usual masculine driven friction that we all know in the marketplace, right?
Yes.
And I freaking love this because Lori believes that the right offer doesn't just grow your business, it actually gives you back your life. And so
Yes.
today I'm so freaking excited to have Lori here to talk about herself, the misalignment leaks that are in your offers that quietly make them harder to sell, and why everything might look really good on paper, but really off in your energy and what you can do about it. So, Lori, I am so freaking excited to have you here today.
I am so excited to be here. Like, oh my gosh. Like, and I have to mention just a shout out for Nicole. Nicole is going to be on my podcast soon. And we've just hit it off like energetically, and we're just a really good match. And so I know this is going to be a really great episode.
Me too. Me too. All right. So maybe before we get into the energy lease, I would love to get into a little bit of your background. Why do you
Mhm,
focus on offers specifically? When
mhm.
did you start noticing, like, what did you notice in people's businesses that really pulled you into this part of the work?
Okay. So, I would say I got into, well, first of all, I've
Mhm.
been in offers probably all my life, starting with my background as in marketing at a food company. So I worked under the VP of sales and marketing. So I was surrounded by branding and offers constantly. Then I started a coaching practice for moms. And I, of course, was crafting my own offers. But then I started the business that I have today. And I was a marketing generalist. I did a little bit of everything: launch management, helping people with their offers, content management services, website development, funnel development, the whole thing. And I would say it was about, we're in 2026, probably beginning of 2023, I started noticing a huge shift in the market. A lot of people were coming online. The market was becoming very saturated. AI was starting to come into play and things started shifting. And what I noticed is that things that I would have typically gotten hired for, people were hiring specialists. And it was like, ooh, okay. For 18 months, I kind of sat with this intuitive feeling that the generalist world is dying.
Checks out.
And I need to position myself in a new way, in a different way that leans into my own natural genius. And I sat with it for 18 months intuitively because I didn't know what my freaking genius was. I'm not kidding you. So I literally, my whole business was built around using the skills and the genius and the talents of my team in my agency. And yes, I have a genius in managing projects and managing team, but it wasn't like something like that I loved. It didn't like set my soul on fire. Well, it took a breakdown. I mean, I'm telling you a breakdown.
Mhm.
My spouse was sitting in that chair right over there, and she literally said 4 words to me: something needs to change. And the tears just came down. And I knew. It's like, I know. I have been trying to ignore my intuition for so long because I didn't have the answer. And I had too much stuck energy for that answer to even come to me. So I just broke down. I just cried and cried and cried. And I released all of that energy. And then I asked my copywriter a really unique question. I said, Drashti, I said, like, if you look at me, I said, can you tell me, like, what do you think, like, I'm really good at? And she said, you have such a natural way of seeing people's genius and bringing that out in them. I was like, interesting.
Wow.
I started like looking at my life and looking like at my sons, looking at my friends, looking at like everything. And it's like, I finally realized, oh my God, I do see the genius in everyone. I do see how everyone is so unique and what makes them like magical, or what I say, like what their mojo is. And that's how the offer strategy in positioning came out, because I know that it is our mojo, it is our brilliance, and it is our genius that we are selling when we craft our offers. So that's how it got started. I literally like it wasn't like a complete like 180, but let's say a complete 90-degree shift. Like I literally like just changed all my messaging, started putting stuff out into the world that I am the offer and positioning strategist, and people were like eyebrows raised,
Mhm.
suddenly like, oh wow, this is unique. I had, I think, 6 speaking engagements booked within a month. And
It's
since
incredible.
I've leaned into that, my podcast has grown 10x.
It's an incredible podcast. Yes, I
Thank
can
you. Thank
completely
you.
understand that.
Thank you. So that's how I got started. Huge background in branding and marketing, generalist for a long time, intuition screaming at me. Finally found my own genius, my own lane, and I pivoted.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's been amazing. So, yeah.
What an incredible story. Because it is such a mirror, I think. And there has to be some super magical secret sauce to you and your journey, and you helping other people in very similar journeys that are coming down your pipeline as well. Because I think it takes a lot for not only, I just love the fact that you just had to put the mirror up and be like, oh, you are the person that finds the magic in other
Mhm.
people, right? And
Right.
and so
Mhm.
it's so hard in this journey, especially as entrepreneurs, to step outside of ourselves and see the genius within ourselves, because I think
Yes.
we get clogged up with the reality of the tasks and the to-dos and all of the things that we have to do, and how is everybody else showing up in the world, and there's a lot of
Hmm.
emulation and copying that goes on, right? And
Yes.
so having someone like you that is able to, and you're a projector, are you not, Lori? Did
I
we
am
talk
a
about this?
projector.
Which is
Yes.
exactly who you want, digging
Right.
into your energy and your business to find truth in it and put the mirror up to say, this is exactly what your secret sauce is. And like, I am not
Yes.
surprised at all that you've had all the speaking engagements, that your podcast is blowing up, just because to have a projector in the space, and you with the experience in the space to show people their magic, like that is probably worth its weight in gold in terms
Yeah, you know what? I didn't know that because it
of.
wasn't until I'd say probably beginning part of last year that I started like researching human design and found out that I was a projector and like actually did research on the best business strategies for a projector and what the strengths are of a projector. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I see patterns that other people don't see. Like, okay, like I have depth. I have the ability to connect, right, with people. It's like I have a 2-4
Okay.
emotional authority. So I'm really good with connecting with people. I can be a hermit sometimes, but then I come back and I connect with people. But I have
Mhm.
really, really deep, just a lot of depth to the way I work with clients, which is what this needs because when we are crafting offers that are aligned with our genius, there's a lot of identity work in that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I happen to be a little, I guess, what I would consider neurospicy. Like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
have like a half very, I'd say strategic and structured brain, and a half a very creative brain. So it's like I hold the messaging and the positioning, like
Mhm.
while I hold the structure of an offer, if that makes sense. It's just kind of
Mhm.
a like a unique combination. And I don't think I would have ever, if I hadn't done all of the identity work myself
Right.
last year, I don't think I would have ever identified myself as being neurospicy. But it's
Uh-huh.
just like I gave birth to one ADHD son and one kid on the autism spectrum. It's like, okay, like, yeah. So
So
I would say that my brain is a little bit neurodivergent, but it's what makes me really good at what I do. So,
it's and it's so funny because the listeners of my podcast are now like, oh, I know exactly why Nicole likes her so much, because we are so similar in that way. Given that
okay.
I'm a projector, right? Project
Okay. Mm-hmm.
love a fellow projector, and I also come from the background of business and had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of personal transformation work to do to bring in that creative side of the house. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
similarities between the two of us, which obviously means our energy frequencies in alignment, but also
Mm-hmm.
I can see also the depth and the integrity that you bring to this work. And projectors light up when we light up other people. And so
Yes.
that's why I feel so in tune with you and your podcast and your service offerings with the offers and
Right.
how you literally show up to help other people uncover their genius. So let's talk about that.
All
So
right.
I know that you talk about offers and misalignment leaks. How do you want to approach those? How do they show up in someone's business? Where do you think it'd be valuable to go down the rabbit hole here?
So I think what I want to talk about is, I mean, we would talk forever
I
if I talked
know.
about all of the misalignment links
Mhm.
that show up in offers, but I want to talk about three of the most common because I think that's what people will resonate with most. And even if they can make one of these shifts, it will be hugely beneficial.
Mhm.
And we've already started talking about one of those leaks,
Yep.
and that is not aligning your offers with your natural genius. So, what a lot of people do is they put together offers that are something they think is going to sell, something that they think is what their audience wants, something that their audience has asked for. and they start like going down this path of creating offers in a particular lane or creating all kinds of offers that are, some may be genius, some may not be. And before you know it, they've got a business that doesn't light them up.
Mhm.
A business that just starts to feel like drudgery. It starts to feel difficult. It doesn't move because it's not aligned with your natural genius. And so you get a lot of stuck energy, and it's hard to grow a business when you have a lot of stuck energy. People, it just doesn't flow the way you do. And when you, it's like the way I describe it, I guess, and I'm trying to think of like, who was I talking to the other day? About energy frequency. I'll come back to it if I remember it. But it's like, if your offers in your business are not aligned with your genius, right? Your frequency is probably like, down here. Then you align your offers in your business with your genius, and suddenly you are so excited. You're so
Mhm.
passionate about what you do, and your frequency like naturally rises. And we all know what happens when your frequency naturally rises. You begin to attract, right?
Mhm.
Business begins to flow to you. And even though my business, is, I have like this little gnat around me. Anyway, even though my business is like, aligned with my natural genius, and I know that because when I'm in client calls, I'm just so like lit up. I just enjoy it so much. What happens, and we'll talk about this, is another leak, is there's certain parts of my business that might feel misaligned, and when that energy gets stuck, it's just like I'm getting dragged down, and I don't show up in the same frequency level that I need to grow the business. So that's the first thing. And here's the thing, I want to say this because I think this is so important. A lot of people think, oh, I don't know what my natural genius is, or I don't really have a natural genius, or I'm not really a brilliant person, I'm just average. Bullshit. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that because I truly believe everyone has their own unique mojo, and everyone is brilliant in their own way. We just have to
Mm.
pull out what that is, right? It's not like we don't have to compare ourselves to, all these big like content creators and influencers on, or these big huge experts that have this massive following. No, like brilliance and genius is so nuanced and can be so like specific. The way we see things in a different way than other people, the way we do things that's different. Even like our expertise, like maybe we bring like this really layered expertise, into what we do. Pulling out that genius and that brilliance is, it's very nuanced, and I will never allow anyone to play small because I just don't believe in it, because I feel like you were born into this world for a reason. And whoever you, if it's God, universe, like whatever you call that person or entity or whatever, you're here for a reason. You have a purpose, you have a mission, you have brilliance, you have genius that you can bring. And that's what we are meant to. That's why we're here, is to use our gifts to help change other people's lives, however that looks.
I love that. I love that so much. And I just, everything you said is just absolutely beautiful and magnetic. And I completely agree with you that everyone here on planet Earth probably can have a business. Like, right. There is a
Probably.
secret
Mhm.
sauce to every single one of us that we bring to the table. And to your point, when you start comparing yourself to the other people who are incredibly owning their own authenticity,
Mhm.
their own mojo, right? And
Right?
you start to emulate them, of course it's not going to work. You can't have the
No.
misaligned offer because that's part of their genius. And so
Right.
having working with someone like you to uncover your own genius
Yes.
and create offers around that is going to be the key to you being successful in your business and also the key to you living a life that you fucking love
Yeah,
and
yeah.
enjoy.
You
I
know, and
love it.
I want to say this because I don't know if all of your listeners are business owners. Even if you are working at a company,
Mhm.
having the right job for you, that's aligned with your natural brilliance and genius, like that's, oh my God, that just brings complete career fulfillment. I mean, my
Mm,
son, I mentioned him, a younger son, is high functioning autism. If you know anything about autism, they usually have a fixation on
yeah.
a particular subject, maybe one or two. But my son's is vehicles, cars. Okay. He has been into cars since he was one. Like my entire house would be lined up with traffic jams of Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. By 3 years old, he was looking at a thick supercars book, like flipping the pages until the pages like fell apart.
Wow.
And guess what he's doing today? He's working for Icon 4x4, which is a custom designed uh, vehicle. They take old Ford Broncos, old FJ Cruisers, and modernize them under the Icon brand. They are selling $1 million vehicles. Guess who landed that project management and client liaison job right out of college?
Oh my gosh.
Because that is his
Incredible.
superpower,
Oh.
right? You know, like that it is his superpower. And you know, and I know that's really, really nuanced, but I could tell the same story about my other
Mhm.
son who's in enterprise sales. Like he's been negotiating with me since he was 13 years old. Like I remember when he was 16, he got grounded from the car because he did something that I didn't like.
Mhm.
Oh my God, that dude like was negotiating every freaking angle that he could come up with to get that car back. And I'm like, no, you're not getting the car back. I don't care. You're a good negotiator. And he uses that in sales today. He's very analytical, just a very good negotiator. Like he can see things from all different angles. That's a superpower. Not everyone has that.
Wow. And this is making me feel better as last night my 12-year-old was trying to negotiate with me and was driving me up the fucking wall. So my human is taking this one outside of this podcast episode. But as you're talking, Lori, I hear spirit in my head saying no one can beat you at your own game. When you
No.
recognize your own genius, no one
Hmm.
will do better at it than you.
Absolutely. That's 100% true.
Oh my gosh.
100% true.
I love this so much. So misalignment leaks. So what's the next one then?
The next one is using the wrong delivery model for your offers.
Okay.
Okay. So as you know, there are so many different offer types. There's, you know, one-on-one deep work. There is, you know, group programs. There's retreats. There's community-based offers. There's um, courses. There's just a million different kinds of way that you can bring your offer to the world. When you're not working in the right model and you're working in a model that drains you, it's just not going to work. I worked with a health coach, for instance, who was doing one-on-one work, and she was so burnt out and so drained when she came to me. And we started like just digging into just the offer model of at that particular time. And like what she said to me was like, oh my God, like I hate doing one-on-one work. She's like, she says, I will work with a client for about a month and then I'm just over it. Like I just don't want to
Yeah.
go like any further. And she's like, what I really want to be doing is like group programs or retreats. And I said, so why aren't you doing that?
Hmm.
And you know, that question alone was just like, uh, yeah, why aren't I doing that?
No answer.
Because in
Yeah.
her mind, she was told
Hmm.
one-on-one is how you need to work with your clients, you know, and knowing she didn't believe in her heart and soul that she could make a retreat model work for herself, or
Mhm.
that she could make a group model work for herself. A lot of times what people are doing is they're chasing trends. Like, right now, the community-based offer is a big trend. Oh, everywhere you go, you need to be in community, need to be in community. Like, everyone wants community right now. So everyone is creating a community-based offer. Well, what if
Yes.
a community-based offer like drains the hell out of you?
Mhm.
Like you're not going to be able to fill it. I mean, if it's the right model for you, like any model will work. And if it's the right model for you, you will feel energized by it. If it's the wrong model for you, you're not going to show up as your best self.
Well spoken by a projector too, because projectors are fiercely protective of our own energy. And if anyone can tell you how to save your energy, it's going to be Lori.
Yeah. And
So,
and I will tell you
yep.
this. I mean, it talk about, like, I know you talk a lot about, like, soul and intuition
Yes.
and like really like being in touch with that. Regarding my own offers, I'm a projector. I'm deep. So my best work is one-on-one. I love a one-on-one relationship. A lot of experts will tell you you can't scale one-on-one. And it's like, I don't know that I buy that, but I sat with that for a little bit. And it's like, I asked my soul that question is, how can I scale my expertise and still honor the fact that I love to do one-on-one work?
Mhm.
And I didn't have the answer like right away. I mean, yes, could I do communities? I could. I don't want to. Could I do group? I could, and I might. But an answer came to me, and I want to say it took probably 3, 4 months. And it's like, aha, I'm gonna
Mhm.
take my structure brain and
Mhm.
my ability to audit offers, and I'm going to turn it into a tool that is going to do a lot of the work for me, and then it will upsell to my offers.
God, I love it.
And that's scalable. A tool these days, I'm not talking about just a basic like tool. I'm talking a robust tool that I will
Mhm.
build that does a really great job of like auditing an offer and showing the misalignment links within that offer that need to be addressed to make it more viable.
Oh, I love that. And
So,
we'll have that in the show notes, I believe. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's
yeah. I
incredible.
won't have that tool
Oh,
in the
not
show
that
notes.
tool?
No, I won't have that tool, but I will give my AI powered offer
Okay.
confidence toolkit, which
Okay.
is it's very good, but
Hmm.
the tool I'm going to build is way more robust
Okay.
than
So
that.
stay tuned on that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
what a brilliant, brilliant idea in terms of
Yeah.
shifting the delivery model. And I think
Hmm.
we are both in agreement. I know most of my community is that the systems are all falling apart right now. All the systems, all the
Yeah.
structures are breaking down, which means that this
Hmm.
is the right time to start envisioning, dreaming, being big
Yes.
and bold in how
Hmm.
you want to start approaching this work. And to your point, aligning that with your energy, aligning that with your frequency, so that again, it energizes you. It allows you to be your best self, show up in the best way, because no one
Yeah.
wants, an entrepreneur or professional, someone that they're buying service or product based offerings from that is tired and overwhelmed and overworked
Yeah.
like the rest of us. Like we need
Hmm.
to be the front leaders in terms of setting up
Yep.
new structures that support us. So I love this so much.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw in just a tiny
Yeah.
little nugget based on what you just said,
Hmm.
of that the systems are breaking down. Everyone is feeling it right now. Everyone is like, oh my God, like, why aren't my offers selling the way they used to? Oh my God, why does this feel like off? Why do I feel so misaligned? And I want to just say, like, we need to lean into our positioning. Like, positioning, specific positioning is more important than ever right now. If you are a generalist, AI is going to take your job. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I don't mean to be like mean about that, but people are typing into AI general questions. I just saw a post on LinkedIn today. I thought it was just brilliant. The guy was talking about coaches, right? And how AI is going to take coaches' jobs, that there's basically three types of coaches in this world, problem solvers, another kind, but the third kind of coach that AI cannot replace is the truth teller and the person that is able to hold emotional space and create identity shifts for people, because we can all go get information, right? I
Mhm.
literally, it's funny because someone just contacted me and said, I'm, building a new offer. I really admire your expertise. I need to get your support. And I said, fantastic. I'm happy to support you. I loved his mission. And he he asked for everything. He wanted full offer ecosystem design, brand development, website development. He wanted the whole shebang, right? Quoted it to him. He came back to me. He said, I so respect your expertise. He said, but I need to do this on my own. I had Claude build my offer and my website. And I was like, okay, all right, show me. Show
Show me.
me. Please show me. Because I wanted to see. And
Yeah.
like all I did was I took one look at the website and the offer, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is vanilla. This is average. This is AI. And it was a confirmation to me that why you need to lean into your expertise, why your expertise needs to be so nuanced, and why like you need to outpace like AI. Because AI is general, and it can, yeah, it can create an offer. I invite people, go create your offer. You're gonna put out an average offer. I promise you, you will. So anyway, that's just to beware. Let's get into the third
You were like, I'll see you in 3 months.
Okay, so let's get into the third misalignment leak, because I know I personally struggle with this like a lot, and I know other people do too. And that is aligning your visibility strategies in the wrong way. So many people, I know a lot of people right now that are so over social media, right? And a lot of people think, ah, I gotta post on social media. I gotta do this. I gotta, and they look at like social media as like the only like visibility strategy. And visibility is so much bigger than that. And there's so many strategies that you can use to get eyes on your offers and your brand. And if you choose the wrong strategy for yourself, like based on who you are and like what your genius is and how you like to show up, it's going to become a drag.
Mhm.
So it's like social media is becoming a real freaking drag for me. This kind of stuff, love it. Love show up on podcasts, right? I'm reaching, I don't know how many listeners you have or how many listeners will find this in the future, but
Mhm.
I'm reaching and being visible to a lot of people in a way that like lights me up. Social media, like I have to turn it into a almost like a creative game. It's like, okay, I have to make this fun or I am not going to want to do it.
Yep.
And, I also know like I'm a good writer. So it's like blogging is like a great tool for me for visibility. I've been writing a blog weekly for almost 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And you might think, blogging's dead, blah, blah, blah. Mm-mm. Guess
No.
what? My last 7 leads have come through AI search as a result of my website and my blog.
Mhm.
And one's still pending, and 5 of those closed on the spot. On the
Wow.
spot.
Wow.
And again, that goes back to positioning,
Uh-huh.
right? But it goes back to the fact that this is a visibility strategy that works for me.
Yes.
Like I enjoy it.
Mhm.
Um, it's like right now I'm like testing out YouTube and oh my God, I feel
It,
like
it's the
it's,
Wild West. It's brutal.
yeah, it's such a drag. And I just think to myself, am I really going to be able to maintain this? Probably not, because it just, I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not honestly like not a natural off the cuff kind of talker.
Hmm.
If I'm not in a conversation. I'm natural in a like one-on-one conversation,
Yes.
but to ask me to show up in front of a video and perform or to talk and to like some people are just really good at just talking off the cuff and they come up with like they're super natural, they're super good at it. It's not me. But
Hmm.
other people, it is. And absolutely they should be like leaning into video. So it's like there's so many different strategies, and a lot of people, there's so many, people out there too telling you you need to be doing video.
Right.
AI is, if you don't show up as your real person on video, you're not going to be able to, build trust. There's just so many like different stories out there that are selling their own solutions, and you got to ignore the noise. You really have to find the visibility strategies that work for you. And that's part of the work that I do. You would think, oh, it's not related to offers. It 100% is, because if you're not visible, no one's ever going to see your offers.
So
So
true.
it is part of the offer life cycle. And it is, something that I do with students in my Offer Mojo studio. It's not like I don't like specialize in visibility. I know visibility well because of marketing. And I know visibility well enough because I've been doing it and I know when it feels misaligned. And I know that you just don't show up as your best self when the strategy you're using does not fit who you are naturally. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
those are the three main leaks I see. Add that positioning piece in there as a little bonus. And I promise you, if you shift one of those, it's going to make a huge difference.
Yes, yes. And I love that you were talking about, so I think visibility is so important. And I also loathe social media. And
Yay, I found my person.
YouTube, but it's so interesting. And we don't have to go into my rabbit hole. I definitely want to talk about the market a little bit. But like for me personally, I know that when people see me, especially as a
Mhm.
projector, you call them in, right? Vibrationally.
Yeah,
So it's understanding what formats do am I able to say it differently to maintain my vibrational alignment
sure.
and show up in the right spaces so that the right people can find me. And it's such an interesting dynamic. And I think it's interesting because out of your leaks, I think visibility feels to me instinctually that it's going to be the one that is going to change the most as we move forward. So
Hmm.
sticking and understanding, not necessarily understanding market trends to follow them, but just to understand what's available out there is going
Sure.
to be it's so key. So I guess given you kind of mentioned how the current state of the economy and people's offers not selling, is there anything that you would recommend for like sole entrepreneurs that are listening to this podcast today? Is there any tips that you would give people off the bat based on
Hmm.
the current market and what you've seen? Maybe some quick tips to work extending their offers and getting a little more success given the state of the market right now.
I think right now it's about positioning and specificity.
Yep.
I think it's like positioning your content
Mm-hmm.
in a very specific way, positioning your brand in a very specific way so that people like instantly know what your lane is and what is the core transformation that you bring to your clients. It's trying to be like everything to everyone is not going to work, and that is all about your positioning and your messaging and how you're speaking to your clients in your content,
Mm,
however that content looks, right? So whether that content is something like this, a podcast episode, your own solo podcast, YouTube, blogging, social media content, collaborations that you do. There's so many different strategies, but it should be crystal clear when someone says, "Oh my God," like, and I'm just going to give you an example with
Mm-hmm.
my spouse, right?
Yep.
My spouse might say, "Oh my God, I'm so missing my mom right now. I wish I could talk to her." Guess what? I know someone that can help you talk to her
Mm-hmm.
because I've read it in your content.
Yeah.
I've read, okay, I've read it.
A
And
little bit
I
of audit.
immediately thought, my spouse, like she's been missing her mom for 7 years, and if she could talk to her mom and hear something from her mom from the other side, oh my God, it would be so freaking life changing for her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's what I want people to ask themselves, if someone is talking about a specific problem that they're having, and it's a problem that you solve, are you instantly recognizable? Like, oh my God, you have to talk to that person.
Mm.
When someone in my community, which is wide, starts talking about problems they're having with their positioning and their offers, oh my God, you have to talk to Lori.
Yep. Having a
It's
clear
known.
problem and a clear solution.
Yeah, clear problem and clear solution.
Love that.
That is, I would say, kind of urgent for people to solve. People are being very selective with where they're putting their money and who they're putting their money with. And so it needs to feel urgent enough to them. They need to recognize, like, ah, yeah, that's me. Like just yesterday, I had a prospect reach out that said, your work with offer ecosystem design is the exact problem that we are trying to solve right now. They have 5 offers, none of them are connected, and they want a full client journey, like with offers, with an offer ecosystem. And that's exactly the problem I solve.
I love that.
So
I,
that's like why you have to get like super specific
yeah. And I think it's
in
so important too,
your
because
content.
yeah, and I know a lot of the entrepreneurs that don't come from the business background like yourself and myself,
Mm-hmm.
we don't realize how everything is connected like that, right? And
Yes.
how like all of these things are different parts of the puzzle because again, people know their business well, they know their expertise very well, but
Right.
selling them and identifying how to package them and how to get them out there is a whole other
Yes.
thing. But I don't, but
And
it,
even
yeah,
packaging
yeah,
the offers in an ecosystem,
yeah,
because we don't want to have to just like sell this service or sell this service or
yes.
sell this offer or sell this offer. You want a client journey, so the clients that you do like
Mhm.
work hard to get, they stay with you. They
Yeah.
can progress up your, through your ecosystem. Um, and they're with you because it's hard work to get new clients.
Especially in
So
today's day and age, that is
exactly. So
absolutely.
keep them longer if you can. Design your offers so that there's an ecosystem. It keeps them longer with
Oh my
you.
gosh, this is such a brilliant conversation. This is why I love listening to you, talking with you, listening to your podcast. So why don't you talk a little bit about that Offer Confidence Toolkit that
Mhm.
you were chatting about before, and how can folks leverage that? What can they use it for? Where can they get it?
So they can get it at on my website, and you can drop the show link, but it's basically onamissionbrands.com/offer dash checklist. And basically, what it does is it helps you kind of walk through the offer life cycle, and it's 10 questions, and you answer where you're at, scale of 1 to 10 or whatever, on a particular thing. And what it does is it kind of highlights areas where you need to improve. Like it just pulls out leaks in your offer that you could be working on. It also gives you strengths, like, oh, you're doing a really good job with this. So like lean into the strengths of that offer. So it looks at a single offer and basically just helps you have the confidence to go out there and sell it, or at least know like what could you tweak and change to make it even better so that it converts better. It's a GPT, custom designed. It's easy. There's also a PDF. So like if you're like anti-AI, which I know a lot of people that are anti-AI, and that's totally fine. I'm not. You can just read the PDF. Like PDF, in my opinion, is an outdated offer type, but it's there. You can still read it if you're anti-AI.
Love that so much. I love it. So I will absolutely add that in the show notes. And Lori, it was such a fabulous conversation today. And
Thank you. I
honestly,
loved it.
it was so great. And I always like to recap at the end for my the too long didn't listen, or we talked about a lot of stuff. So again,
Yes.
just to remind everybody, like the biggest takeaway here is if you are working in your business, it's not always about doing more or working harder, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
always about assessing what is out of alignment with your offers,
Mm-hmm.
with your visibility, with how you're delivering it to your clients.
Yes.
And you can definitely work with Lori for all of these amazing tools and tips. And sounds like she has this amazing system coming out soon. So go follow her on all the socials so you
Yeah.
can be
And
more
listen, you
focused
know
out
what?
there.
Listen to my podcast. You will
Yes.
get like I am an overshare,
Yeah.
as you can tell. So you're, you're going to get a lot. Just my um podcast. I can give you the link to my podcast as
Yes.
well. It's the Offer Mojo Show.
Yes.
So
And also give
look it
her a
up on
follow.
your
Yeah.
favorite podcast platform.
Yes, absolutely. So I'll add all that in the show notes. Give her a follow on Instagram and LinkedIn. Again, I'll toss it all in the show notes. And if you are looking for help with your offers, Lori is the magician that will get that done for you. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being here, Lori.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nicole. This is amazing. Loved this conversation. Just love your energy
Oh,
personally. So,
feeling is mutual, my dear. Take care.
all right, bye-bye.